Welcome back to our channel on this beautiful day. We are absolutely thrilled to bring you the latest, most explosive updates from the glamorous, treacherous, and endlessly captivating world of Los Angeles. The fashion empires are trembling, and the personal lives of our favorite characters are about to collide in spectacular fashion. Let us dive right into the heart-pounding drama awaiting us. The glittering world of high fashion is often built on a foundation of fragile egos, stolen brilliance, and shattered familial bonds. As the sun sets over the sprawling estates of Los Angeles, the fallout from the monumental launch of the Logan brand continues to send cataclysmic shockwaves through the industry. Katie Logan Spencer and Bill Spencer are currently standing at the absolute pinnacle of their professional lives. Their debut collection has not merely succeeded, it has conquered the globe. Billboards from Times Square to Milan are illuminated with the breathtaking designs that carry the Logan name, and the financial returns are nothing short of astronomical. Bill Spencer, a man whose appetite for victory is only matched by his ruthless business acumen, is reveling in this triumph. He is practically vibrating with triumphant energy, eager to pop the most expensive champagne and celebrate this monumental victory with Liam Spencer and the rest of his inner circle. For Bill, this is the ultimate vindication, a glorious middle finger to the Forrester establishment that has long looked down upon him. However, the atmosphere in the penthouse is far from a unified celebration. While Bill is ready to toast to their millions, Katie Logan Spencer is drowning in a suffocating sea of internal conflict. Yes, she is a newly minted fashion mogul, but the crown rests incredibly heavy upon her head. The silence from her sister, Brooke Logan Forrester, is deafening. Katie stares at her phone, desperately hoping for a simple text message of congratulations, a tiny olive branch to bridge the massive chasm that has opened between them. But the screen remains dark. Brooke's furious condemnation echoes in Katie's mind, a constant, agonizing reminder of the immense personal cost of this professional triumph. Katie is beginning to realize that the millions of dollars pouring into their accounts cannot buy back the love and support of her sister. The emotional toll of this corporate warfare is slowly eating away at her soul, leaving her feeling isolated and profoundly melancholic amidst the greatest victory of her career. Beyond the devastating emotional fallout, Katie is also grappling with a terrifying logistical nightmare. Brooke's harsh words were not merely born of anger. They contained a chilling truth. The Logan brand has skyrocketed to the top of the fashion world by standing on the shoulders of a giant. They have exhausted the brilliant, stolen designs of Eric Forrester. As Katie looks past the champagne and the celebratory headlines, she sees a massive, gaping void in their business model. They have no lead designer. They have no creative visionary to sustain this incredible momentum. The realization hits her like a physical blow. The fashion industry is notoriously unforgiving, and a brand is only as good as its next collection. If Katie and Bill do not find a world-class designer immediately, their glorious empire will crumble just as quickly as it was built, leaving them as the ultimate laughingstocks of the fashion world. They desperately need a miracle, and they need it now. Meanwhile, across town at the hallowed halls of Forrester Creations, a different kind of storm is brewing, one fueled by resentment, marginalization, and the toxic bleed of personal vendettas into professional decisions. Hope Logan Spencer is once again finding herself pushed to the absolute periphery of the company she has poured her heart and soul into. Steffi Forrester Finnegan, wielding her executive power with an iron fist, has made a devastating move. Despite numerous promises and assurances regarding the future of Hope's cherished fashion line, Steffi has abruptly and ruthlessly pulled the rug out from under her. The funding, the marketing push, the prime runway slots, all of it has been unceremoniously yanked away. Steffi insists, with a cold and detached professionalism, that this is strictly a business decision, a necessary pivot for the financial health of Forrester Creations. But Hope is no fool. She can see the underlying malice dancing in Steffi's eyes. Steffi's recent tirades and relentless nagging about Katie Logan's audacious success have not gone unnoticed. It is painfully obvious to Hope, and to anyone paying attention, that Steffi is using her executive authority to trample on Hope as a proxy for her fury toward Katie. Steffi is punishing the Logan woman she can control because she cannot touch the Logan woman who is currently dominating the global market. This blatant, spiteful marginalization is a devastating blow to Hope's spirit. She has fought so hard to carve out her own legacy within the Forrester empire, only to be repeatedly reminded that she will always be viewed as an outsider, a Logan living on borrowed Forrester time. This latest betrayal by Steffi might just be the absolute breaking point for Hope. The emotional exhaustion of constantly having to justify her existence and her talent at Forrester Creations is reaching a critical mass. History is repeating itself in the most cruel and degrading manner, and Hope is finally beginning to realize that her loyalty is being rewarded with nothing but disrespect and sabotage. This profound disillusionment creates the perfect, explosive opportunity for Katie Logan Spencer. As Katie desperately searches for a visionary to save her brand from an impending creative drought, she looks toward her niece. At the upcoming celebration party, the stars are aligning for a monumental corporate defection. If Katie extends a lucrative, empowering offer to Hope, promising her the creative control and immense respect she is being denied at Forrester, Hope might just take the leap. And if Hope walks away from Forrester Creations to join the rival Logan empire, she will undoubtedly take the brilliantly talented Deke Sharp with her, delivering a crippling, multi-million-dollar blow to Steffi and Ridge's company. The stage is set for a family betrayal that will echo through the generations. While the corporate titans wage their multi-million-dollar wars, the younger generation is entangled in a deeply emotional and incredibly messy romantic labyrinth. Electra Forrester finds herself standing at the most agonizing crossroads of her young life, her heart violently pulled in two completely opposite directions. The explosive revelation of Ivy Forrester's manipulative, toxic scheming has completely shattered the reality Electra thought she knew. The knowledge that her aunt deliberately intercepted a letter, orchestrating the heartbreaking demise of her relationship with Will Spencer, has left Electra reeling in a state of profound shock and anger. Will, armed with the undeniable truth of his innocence, is desperately trying to pick up the shattered pieces of their romance. He is standing before her, offering a chance to rebuild the beautiful connection they once shared, pleading with her to remember the profound love that was stolen from them by a vindictive third party. However, the human heart is a complex and unpredictable entity, and the time they spent apart has irrevocably changed the landscape of Electra's emotions. During the painful void left by Will, a new, magnetic, and incredibly dangerous presence entered her life. R.J. Forrester has woven himself into her daily existence, offering a different kind of passion, a thrilling, undeniable attraction that she can no longer ignore. Electra is deeply, agonizingly torn. Does she return to the safe, foundational love she shared with Will, a love that was tragically derailed by outside interference? Or does she surrender to the intoxicating, unpredictable pull of R.J. Forrester, a man who ignites a completely different kind of fire within her soul? The agonizing complexity of this decision is further compounded by the dark, manipulative nature of R.J.'s current state of mind. R.J. is not the noble, honorable suitor he pretends to be. Driven by a toxic cocktail of entitlement, jealousy, and an overwhelming desire to claim Electra as his own, R.J. is completely prepared to descend into the darkest depths of manipulation. He is ready to play dirty, to utilize every ounce of his Forrester privilege and cunning intellect to ensure that Will Spencer is permanently eradicated from Electra's life. R.J. views Electra not just as a woman to be loved, but as a prize to be won in his escalating, bitter war against Will. The lengths to which R.J. is willing to go to secure his victory are terrifying, and Electra, caught in the blinding fog of her own conflicting emotions, may not realize the true, treacherous nature of the man she is being drawn toward until it is far too late. The battle for Elektra's heart is no longer a fair fight. It is a psychological war zone, and the casualties are bound to be devastating. As if the romantic entanglements and corporate espionage were not enough to plunge Los Angeles into absolute chaos, a deeply sinister and terrifyingly real threat is quietly emerging from the shadows, targeting the vulnerable and increasingly isolated Melissa Dillon. The glamorous, brightly lit design offices of Forrester Creations have suddenly transformed into a suffocating landscape of paranoia and dread for the young woman. Melissa is being hunted. A relentless, invisible stalker has locked their sights onto her, plunging her daily existence into a waking nightmare. The psychological torture began with the phone calls. Deep in the quiet hours of the day, her phone rings, delivering a voice that is heavily disguised, a chilling, metallic distortion that promises nothing but malice. The voice speaks of unfinished business, a cryptic, terrifying phrase that sends icy shards of absolute terror straight down Melissa's spine. The horror does not stop at the edge of her phone screen. The stalking has escalated from digital harassment to physical proximity. Melissa can feel the heavy, oppressive weight of unseen eyes watching her every move. She catches fleeting, terrifying glimpses of these shadows moving just out of her peripheral vision in the corridors of the Forrester building. She feels the cold breath of the unknown on the back of her neck when she is working late in the design room. The crushing anxiety is taking a monumental toll on her mental health. Is this stalker merely a disgruntled, unhinged employee harboring a bizarre grudge? Or is it something far more sinister, a dark, violent ghost returning from a past she has desperately tried to bury? The whispers of Luna Nozowa's tragic, unsolved murder hang heavy in the air, a dark cloud of suspicion that continues to follow Melissa wherever she goes. The terrifying reality is that Melissa's hidden history is violently colliding with her fragile present, threatening to completely obliterate any hope she has for a safe, secure future. She is trapped in a psychological cage, unable to trust anyone, unable to seek help without potentially exposing the very secrets the stalker is using to torment her. The tension surrounding Melissa is stretching to an absolute breaking point, creating a chilling, thriller-esque atmosphere that promises a shocking, potentially violent confrontation in the very near future. And hovering above all of these intertwining tragedies and conflicts is the sleeping giant of the fashion world, a patriarch whose immense pride has been deeply, unforgivably wounded. Eric Forrester, the legendary founder and creative genius behind Forrester Creations, has been publicly humiliated on a global scale. Seeing his magnificent, unreleased designs paraded across international billboards under the banner of the rival Logan brand was a visceral, sickening blow to his ego and his legacy. In the immediate aftermath of the launch, Eric was consumed by a profound sense of embarrassment and betrayal. He felt violated, his creative soul plundered by the ruthless ambition of Bill Spencer and the shocking disloyalty of Katie Logan. But Eric Forrester is not a man who wallows in defeat. The initial wave of embarrassment is rapidly evaporating, replaced by a cold, calculating, and utterly terrifying fury. The legendary aggression that built the Forrester empire from the ground up is awakening from its slumber. Eric is a titan, a man who has crushed competitors and destroyed enemies with a single, decisive stroke of his pen. He absolutely refuses to allow Bill Spencer, a man he has always viewed as a classless, opportunistic parasite, to treat him with such blatant, humiliating disrespect. Katie's betrayal cuts even deeper, a familial wound that demands a severe, unforgettable punishment. Eric is not going to simply file a standard lawsuit and let the lawyers handle the paperwork. He is going to wage a total, uncompromising war of annihilation against the Logan brand. He is meticulously gathering his resources, aligning his allies, and preparing to unleash a retaliatory strike so devastating, so completely overwhelming that it will not only strip Katie and Bill of their stolen millions, but also permanently destroy their reputations in the fashion industry. The storm clouds are rapidly gathering over the Forrester mansion, and when Eric finally unleashes his wrath, the ensuing corporate apocalypse will leave the landscape of Los Angeles forever altered. The battle lines have been drawn in ink and blood, and the upcoming collision between the Forrester legacy and the Logan ambition promises to be the most explosive, destructive